Did you know that Maria Bartiromo kind of ruined someone's life? This is the story that people don't want you to hear about. They call her Money Honey. She was the first woman journalist to report live from the busy floor of the New York Stock Exchange. She broke all the barriers in money news reporting, and she was the one who bought that $6.5 million mansion in Manhattan. But before all this success, there was a big scandal that almost destroyed everything she had built and totally ruined another person's life. Today, we're going to talk about that hidden scandal while we look at the fancy life of Maria Bartiromo. In January 2007, Wall Street was shocked. And it wasn't because of some wild business deal, it was because of two people, Todd Thompson and Maria Bartiromo. Todd was 45 years old, always nicely tanned, and moving up fast at Citigroup as the head of their global wealth management division. His boss was Chuck Prince, the CEO, who was trying hard to fix Citigroup's growing money problems. But Thompson had different plans. And no, it wasn't just about managing wealth. Like his job said, Thompson was spending company money like it was his own pocket cash. Like a kid going wild in a candy store $5 million. That's how much he spent to sponsor a TV program on the Sundance Channel. The hosts were Robert Redford and Maria Bartiromo, CNBC's star girl, the woman everyone in money news wanted to be or wanted to have on their show. Thompson also built what people inside the company jokingly called the Taj Mahal, a super fancy office with a real wood-burning fireplace and a custom fish tank. But it wasn't the fireplace that got him fired, it was the private jet. In the fall of 2006, Thompson set up for Maria to go with him to a Citigroup-sponsored business conference in Asia. Nothing strange about that. Money journalists go to these events all the time. She spoke at Lu, Inches in Hong Kong and Shanghai to Citigroup's top private banking clients. It was professional networking and building sources, the kind of thing that looks normal on paper. Then came the flight back home. According to many reports from the Wall Street Journal and other news sources, Thompson made other Citigroup executives get off the return flight so he could fly back to the United States alone with Bartiromo on the company's private jet. Just the two of them, flying across the Pacific on a trip that cost between $50,000 and maybe more, all paid for by Citigroup shareholders. The rumors started right away. People inside Citigroup began talking. Anonymous sources told the press that Thompson had been warned months before to cut down his contact with Bartiromo, to stop using company money for what looked like personal reasons, to make a clear line between business friends and whatever this was turning into. He ignored the warnings. On January 24, 2007, CEO Chuck Prince fired Todd Thompson. The official reason was too much spending and bad management, but everyone knew the real story. The Wall Street Journal put a big article on the front page about the friendship between Thompson and Bartiromo, the private jet, the fancy dinners, the $5 million TV sponsorship. The media called it Marrier-gate, and the damage was huge but with a surprising part. Both Thompson and Bartiromo strongly denied any romantic relationship over and over. Thompson told reporters that his relationship with Bartiromo was completely okay. When asked about affair rumors, he said those questions were not appropriate. Maria said that everything she did was correct and purely work-related, tied straight to her job at CNBC, giving the network special access to top executives. CNBC supported her in public. Then NBC Universal CEO Jeff Zucker said she had done nothing wrong. The network said they had APPR, oved and paid for every trip, even paying Citigroup back for the private flight. But it looked really bad. The questions kept coming. And here's where it gets interesting. Thompson lost everything. His job at Citigroup ended suddenly. His goodbye money package was worked out while he was publicly embarrassed. He told Businessweek there was a smear campaign against him, suggesting inside politics and a power fight with Prince. By late 2007, Prince himself quit because of Citigroup's huge subprime mortgage disaster. But Maria Bartiromo came out completely fine. No investigation for breaking rules, no public punishment. She kept hosting Closing Bell at CNBC without missing one show. Her career didn't just survive Marrier-gate, it got even better. And within months, she and her husband, Jonathan Steinberg, bought their dream home. In late 2007, the Upper East Side in Manhattan got new owners. While the Thompson scandal became old tabloid news, Maria and Jonathan bought a 5-story townhouse at 211 East 62nd Street, just east of 3rd Avenue. They paid $6.5 million. This wasn't just any house, it was a big statement. The townhouse is 5,225 square feet in some of the priciest real estate in America. 5 bedrooms, 5 full bathrooms, classic New York style with modern updates everywhere. But here's what makes it special compared to other fancy places in Manhattan. The backyard, a private 39-foot-long garden on the Upper East Side. Do you get how rare that is? Most people in Manhattan would love even a tiny balcony with one plant. Maria and Jonathan had a real green oasis in the middle of one of the most crowded cities in the world. The second floor opens to a big balcony that looks over this garden. Imagine walking out of your bedroom onto that balcony with your morning coffee, surrounded by trees and flowers while the city noise goes on around you. It's the kind of luxury that money really can't buy anymore because they don't build places like this now. Inside, the design mixes old charm with modern style. Hardwood floors everywhere, custom kitchen cabinets, high-quality finishes in every room. The couple put in a top-level 2-camera security system needed for anyone famous. Many reports say the home has a media room or home office, perfect for Bartiromo's TV career and the long hours she prepares for her shows. The layout works for both their work and personal lives. Big spaces for parties with industry friends. Quiet private areas to rest after the tough hours of money news. Every detail is thought out carefully. Every room is made for both use and beauty. And the timing is interesting. This buy happened just months after Marriott, just months after the private jet scandal that ended Todd Thompson's career. Some might think it was insensitive, others might see it as a woman who knew her value and wouldn't let any scandal slow her down. The Manhattan real estate market has gone way up since 2007. That $6.5 million townhouse is now worth well over $10 million by careful guesses, maybe as high as $12 to $15 million because of the location and the rare backyard garden. The couple's total net worth is guessed at over $50 million, mostly from Bartiromo's $10 million yearly salary and her husband's business wins. They got married in 1999 and have no kids, so they can focus fully on their jobs and their homes. The townhouse is their main home, their base in the city that made them successful. But Manhattan was just the start. Around 2010, Maria and Jonathan added to their homes with a beachfront vacation house in West Hampton Beach in the Hamptons. They paid almost $4 million. The Hamptons is where rich New Yorkers go on weekends, where hedge fund bosses and media leaders have big homes with ocean views. The entry price starts in the millions and goes higher. Their West Hampton property is on 0.6 of an acre right on the water, 4,000 square feet over 3 stories, and 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. The kind of beach luxury that people dream about in America. But here's what really matters about this house. It's not just for investing or showing off. Maria actually uses it. Every weekend all year, she and Jonathan go to West Hampton. She's talked openly about her Saturday routine, her one day off from the hard 17-hour live TV weeks. On Saturday mornings, she rides her bike on the beach roads. Long walks on the sand with Jonathan and their dog, Dusty B. Steinberg. Yes, their dog has the full last name Steinberg. The simple joys away from cameras and market craziness. The property has big decks great for parties, modern beach features everywhere, ocean views that change with seasons, and most important, privacy. Real privacy, hard to get in Manhattan where photographers and fans spot her all the time. The value has gone way up. The Hamptons market boomed after the pandemic as rich New Yorkers saw they could work from home sometimes. That $4 million beach house is now worth between $8 and $10 million. The couple has seen their investment more than double while loving every minute of owning it. During the 2020 pandemic, Bartiromo did many of her shows from this West Hampton home. She talked about how thankful she was to have this safe place where she could keep working but have some balance. But West Hampton wasn't enough. The couple also owns a fancy estate in Southampton, another exclusive Hamptons area. This property is worth about $3.5 million and adds a different style to their homes. Southampton is on Long Island's North Shore, known for horse riding, big gardens, and old rich family feel. This estate has high-end insides, fun spaces for hosting, and those big gardens that make it peaceful, almost like countryside even in a super exclusive area. It's the kind of place where you can picture small dinner parties for business leaders or just a quiet Sunday with a good book. Between the Manhattan townhouse, the West Hampton Museum, HH House, and the Southampton estate, Maria and Jonathan have built a real estate collection worth well over $20 million. Each home has a different job: Manhattan for work and city life, West Hampton for weekend getaways and ocean views, Southampton for longer visits and a different beach luxury. And here's the thing: these aren't just empty show-off homes. They're not locked-away investments. These are houses the couple really uses and enjoys. That's true wealth, not just owning places, but having the time and life to actually live in them. But their homes are only part of the story. Maria's wealth is very spread out. Maria and Jonathan have a mix of investments that any money advisor would like. They have stocks, bonds, ETFs, business projects, collectibles, and of course the real estate we talked about. Their stock and bond choices focus on safe big companies in growing areas like tech and finance. They do old-style careful investing for long-term growth and dividend money. Yearly gains from this add an estimated $3 to $5 million to their wealth through dividends and value increases. Now their fancy life gets even fancier. Maria and Jonathan own old classic cars including a 1965 Ford Mustang and a 1966 Ford Thunderbird, together worth $200,000 to $300,000. These two are rich, but smart too. Classic cars are great investments if you pick right. The good models go up a lot in value over time, especially if kept nice. Plus, they're things you can actually drive and enjoy, not like stocks just sitting in an account. They also invest in fine art and special collectibles. Exact values are private. They're smart to keep some things secret, but these add variety to their money and possible growth. Art markets can go up and down, but top pieces from known artists usually keep value even in bad economies. But wait, where does all this money come from? Maria's yearly pay from Fox Business is $10 million. That makes her one of the highest paid business news people on TV. Only a few anchors on any network make more, but there's more. She's written several books. She wrote Use the News in 2001, The 10 Laws of Enduring Success in 2010, The Weekend That Changed Wall Street in 2011, The Cost, Trump, China, and American Revival. Each book brings in royalties, not huge compared to her salary, but steady money that adds up. She also does paid speeches, and they bring in between $250,000 and $420,000 a year. She's popular for talks at money conferences, company events, and colleges. People pay a lot to hear her thoughts on markets and media. Speaking of thoughts, she writes columns for places like USA Today, adding more income and earned fees from being on company and nonprofit boards. Careful guesses put Maria's personal net worth between $50 and $65 million. That's money that can last generations. That's legacy money. That's the kind of fortune that survives market crashes and bad economies because it's spread out and managed well. But here's what makes her wealth even more impressive. She didn't get this money from family. Maria grew up in working-class Brooklyn. Her parents owned a restaurant. She worked as a coat check girl and got fired from a wedding dress store for trying on dresses before putting them away. She earned every dollar through hard work, smart career choices, and never letting scandals stop her goals. It is her drive that pushed her to what she did in the late 1980s, around 1988 or 1989, when Maria got an internship at CNN Business News. She started on the regular news desk, just an intern trying to show what she could do, but she worked harder than anyone. She stayed late, took extra jobs, and made herself needed. CNN hired her as an executive producer and assignment editor. For 5 years, she worked behind the cameras, learning TV news from the inside. Her boss was Lou Dobbs, who later worked with her at Fox Business. Dobbs taught her the business, guided her, pushed her to improve. But Maria wanted more. She wanted to be on camera, meeting people, chasing stories, out in the field instead of in a control room. When Dobbs promoted her to senior producer, a job she didn't want, she begged him not to. He said it was the only way up. So she took it, but right away started making a demo tape to send to other networks. That's real hustle. That's drive. That's someone who knows what they want and won't settle. Then in 1993, a call came from CNBC. They hired Maria to take over for analyst Roy Blumberg. The boss who brought her in was Roger Ailes, the famous TV producer who later made Fox News huge. Ailes saw something special in Maria: natural talent, hard work, great on camera, the skill to explain hard money topics without making them too simple. She started hosting and helping on Market Watch and Squawk Box. But the big break came in 1995. Maria Bartiromo became the first journalist to report live every day from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Think about what that was like. The NYSE floor was crazy. Hundreds of big traders yelling orders, pushing each other, winning or losing on every market move. It was loud. It was rough. It was all men. And here was this 5'5" woman from Brooklyn shouting to be heard over the noise, standing strong, giving reports to camera while getting bumped by traders. Viewers could see Bartiromo right in the mess. Her shot often got pushed by bigger traders, but she never gave up. She owned that spot. She got the nickname Money Honey. Some thought it was sexist. Maria liked it. She knew in a guy-dominated world she needed to stand out. And if a fun nickname helped people remember her, fine. Over the next 20 years at CNBC, Maria became one of the network's top stars. She hosted Clo, Sing Bell from 2002 to 2013. She anchored On the Money with Maria Bartiromo. She started Business of Innovation in 2007. She became famous for getting exclusive talks with the biggest business names. CEOs wanted to be on her shows because she had the right viewers. She won 2 Emmy Awards, one for Best Coverage of Breaking News in the 2008 Money Crisis, another for her documentary Inside the Mind of Google. She was put into the Cable Hall of Fame, the first journalist to get that honor. Her pay at CNBC reached about $6 million a year. She was CNBC's highest paid anchor. But by 2013, she felt stuck. So in November 2013, she did something that shocked the money media world. Maria Bartiromo was leaving CNBC for Fox Business Network. She'd been at CNBC for 20 years. She was their main star. Why leave? 3 reasons. First was money. Fox offered her $10 million a year, a big jump from the $4 to $6 million at CNBC. CNBC tried to match but couldn't. When someone offers 60% more, you listen. It wasn't just money. Fox also gave her more viewers. Fox gave her a live Sunday morning show on Fox News Channel, which had way bigger audiences than any business channel. She'd spent 20 years building her name in money news. Now she wanted to grow her brand into politics, policy, and bigger money topics. NBC wouldn't make a spot for her. Meet the Press was taken. Fox welcomed her big time. Then lastly, Fox gave her control. At CNBC, she was annoyed by short clips, fast segments, constant breaks for ads and market news. She wanted longer, deeper talks. She wanted to go deep on topics instead of just touching them. Fox promised that freedom. Roger Ailes, her old mentor from the 90s, called her himself. He promised to help her career in ways CNBC wouldn't. That trust mattered. Ailes had made her a star once. She believed he would again. The move worked fast. Within 5 years, her shows sometimes beat CNBC in viewers in her time slots. Her morning program, Mornings with Maria, became must-watch for serious me. Arcade People, her Sunday show, Sunday Morning Futures, became the top-rated Sunday morning cable show, beating CNN and MSNBC. She did exclusive interviews with President Donald Trump, company CEOs, Federal Reserve leaders, and world money figures. She hosted presidential debates. She covered big money events around the world. According to court papers from the Smartmatic defamation case, Fox has paid Bartiromo $70 million since she joined in 2014 through her contract ending in 2025. $70 million over about 11 years. That's money that lasts generations earned through pure professional skill. Point 8's fast.